Hello and welcome back to another one of my FPL videos, where in this video I'm going to be revealing my team selection ahead of Game Week 9, where thankfully the boring international break's over and we can look forward to FPL again with Game Week 9, which, to be fair, I'm pretty satisfied with my team, how it looks, but to be fair, I felt like that last week with Game Week 8 and it was terrible. So yeah, before we go into my Game Week 9 team, we've got to look back at Game Week 8, which obviously you could already see on the screen anyway, but we're going to go through it anyway. Oh, I like to say anyway, but yeah, let's go through my team, how I got in last week. So, overall, 44 points is shocking. I got a small red arrow though, weren't too bad, but I did get a red arrow. But yeah, 44 points on a wildcard team was awful, absolutely awful. If I kept the team I had before, it would have actually outperformed it, which is even more embarrassing, but it is what it is, isn't it? That's FPL for you. So let's go through it. In goal, I have Turner this week. My first clean sheet of the season. I should be buzzing, right? I should be buzzing. But I had Pickford all season, and he goes and outperforms him now, take him out. Pickford gets his first clean sheet, gets bonus points, and outperforms Turner. Gutting. At least got the right goalkeeper, because Areola only got 1 point, but it doesn't make a difference. It was gutting to see Pickford outperformed him. With the defence, I mean, pretty decent to be fair. So obviously, Kieran Trippier got 6 points. Didn't keep the clean sheet in Newcastle, but Trippier, he concedes 2, right? He only gets 1 assist, and yet he still comes away with bonus points. That's how good Kieran Trippier is. That is why I kept him in my team. So 6 points from him. Disappointed with Aston Villa. Matty Cash only got the 2 points, and then Pedro Porro, a nice clean sheet there, which we kind of expected against Luton, to be honest. I was just kind of hoping to get a little bit more out of him, but I mean, yeah, Spurs were just really disappointing against Luton, to be fair. They just couldn't get the ball in the net. And yeah, Porro did look good, to be fair, but yeah, just 6 points from him, which obviously is decent because that's what you want from your defender's clean sheet. I was just hoping for a little bit more, to be honest. With my midfield, then, I mean, it was a complete shambles. I'm not going to lie. So I opted not to go for Mo Salah. I was adamant. Yeah, I'm not going to go for him. I don't think it's going to work out as well as people reckon. Yes, he's looked alright, but I think I'll be okay. Salah gets 2 goals by half time, and I realised I've messed it up big time. So I went for Luis Diaz. Played 90 minutes like I thought he would, which was great, but he actually delivered nothing all game, which was really disappointing. So hopefully, I mean, he does better next week, but doesn't look good so far, does it? So yeah, blank by Diaz. Man United just continue to be Man United. I mean, God knows. I still don't know how they won the game against Brentford. I mean, it was a tough game, but yeah, shocking again for Man United. Even though they won, it was just a shocking performance. So another blank from Fernandes, which is disappointing because obviously I'm gambling on keeping him in my team. I know people are taking him out. But I went for the gamble to keep him, and so far doesn't look good, does it? I mean, the Spurs guys, oh God, this is where it hurts most. I had Son as captain for this game week, and he blanked. He not only blanked, he went off early. He got subbed in like the 70th something minute, which really, oh God. I mean, the only thankful thing is I would have had Haaland as captain instead, and he blanked as well. But yeah, that one stung because I was confident that Son was going to get a couple of goals in that game. So the fact that he blanked, ouch, yeah, that one burned. It's kind of a reminder why you don't take Haaland off the captaincy, even though obviously I got more points if I had gone with Son instead of Haaland. But yeah, it was so disappointing. Madison got an assist, so he's the only midfielder that actually got me something, so that's alright, I guess. But even then, I was expecting more from him. It's Luton, man. It is Luton. I expected so much more from Spurs, and they just disappointed. At least Porro got a clean sheet. All 3 of them, sorry, got 6 points, but it wasn't what I expected. I was expecting what Raheem Sterling got for Chelsea. I was expecting Simon Madison to get for me, and yeah, that burned me massively. And then obviously my strikers at the end here. Solanke, I mean, what was that? I was adamant he was going to score against Everton. Not only did he not score, he got yellow card, so he got me 1 point. That was disappointing because he is a gamble that I'm gone for. Obviously, I could have gone for a 4.5 million striker, but I thought, you know what? As bad as Bournemouth are, their fixtures look pretty decent. Slanky plays 90 minutes all the time. I reckon he'd get a few goals here. No, it didn't happen, unfortunately, against Everton. Ollie Watkins, though, he did get me an assist, which is alright. I mean, not the hat-trick like it was the week before, but I'll have to take the assist. At least he got something. I know a lot of people were actually not going for him just because they reckon that they weren't going for him before. He's just got a hat-trick. He's not going to do it again. He's been brilliant all season, Watkins has. It's assist after assist after assist. Yes, it's not been goals, but he's getting assists. He's getting you something, and I think he is worth it. So at least he got something for me. It would have been nice for a goal as well, but he got the most points for me as a striker anyway. Because obviously Erling Haaland blanked again. 2 weeks in a row, Erling Haaland's blanked. It's crazy. He's due an hat-trick, let's face it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in next game week he gets an hat-trick. But yeah, overall 44 points. It's really disappointing to be fair, but I was quite surprised that my red arrow weren't actually that bad. I thought I'd be in the million mark again, but no, I'm not. Pretty decent rank to be fair still, so overall I can't be too disappointed with how bad I got on. Right then, let's go straight into my team selection then for game week 9. Now, normally what I'll do in these videos is do a transfer that I'm thinking about doing ahead of the game week, but I'm not going to lie, I'm not thinking of doing any transfers for game week 9. I'm really content with how my team's looking for game week 9, and I really want to roll a transfer for game week 10 and have two, because that's when there's a few fixtures where I'll fancy going for certain players. So that is my plan, but obviously, who knows, there could be like an injury on international break that we don't know about until towards the deadline, where I'm forced probably to make a transfer. But apart from that, I'm pretty confident with how my team is going to look for game week 9. So, obviously, you can already see my goalkeepers as it is. I'm going for Turner again over Areola. I mean, Luton at home, it's a clear and obvious win there, which goalkeeper you're going to go for. I'm not going to go for Areola, who's got Aston Villa away. That's a really tough fixture to go for. I can't even call it. It could be a draw. It could be a high scoring draw, if anything. But yeah, that could go either way, that game. Whereas with the Forest game, Luton could nick a goal. But obviously, with it being at Forest, I'm a lot more confident that Forest can get a clean sheet. I'm not like 80-90% confident. I'm more like 40% confident they can. Whereas I'm like 10% confident West Ham can get a clean sheet. So that's why I'm thinking, well, I'm confident I'm going to have Turner ahead of Areola this game week. With the defence then, it's about 3 like it is every week at the minute. So what I've gone for is I've gone for a little bit different to last week, or obviously the previous game week. I've decided to actually sub Matty Cash. Like I said with Areola, it's a tough fixture, Aston Villa. So Aston Villa, I've got West Ham. That is a tough fixture for Aston Villa. Yes, they're at home, but the 3 that I've got instead of Matty Cash, I do think are going to perform a lot better. So Newcastle, I'm going to double up on my Newcastle defence. I'm going to have Kieran Trippier and Dan Burn at the back. Crystal Palace at home. I think that's a great fixture for Newcastle. Crystal Palace aren't known for a team scoring many goals. Eze's going to be out. I don't think Elacey's even going to be back yet. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that Newcastle will keep the clean sheet. So having double Newcastle's defence, I feel good about it, especially with the fact it's at St James Park as well. And then I've also got Pedro Porro of obviously Spurs, Fulham at home, another home fixture there. I'm confident as well that Spurs will get a clean sheet in this game as well. And I'm hoping this time he gets like an assist as well in this game. Because I do like the look of him. He's so attacking and I think he's going to do really well. So I think that's a real strong back line there. Obviously Taylor, I'm not going to have him starting. He's got Brentford. He's literally just a cheap defender. I won't fancy using at all. So that's my strong 3. I'm going to go with Matty Cash on the bench for this game week. So then with my midfield, so I'm going for the same 4-man midfield I did in game week 8 where it failed miserably. But look at the fixtures. This is why I've decided to go for the same 4. So obviously I'm not going to go for Douglas Luiz, who's got West Ham at home, when I can have these 4 who've got better fixtures. So the Spurs boys, Maddison and Son, they've both got Fulham. This is probably a big week for Son because if he does obviously go off early in this game as well, I've got to seriously consider getting rid of him because Spurs' long-term fixtures aren't the best, and if Mo Salah is performing, then I've got to really consider going in and getting him and taking Son out. But yeah, hopefully he does well. Fulham at home, it's a nice fixture for Spurs. It is a bit of a derby, but let's hope that they can this time perform, because last week they really burned me. Obviously, Maddison, I do expect a little bit more from him as well. I mean, I'll just take an assist as long as Son gets a couple of goals. So that's how I'm feeling about the Spurs boys. With Fernandes, this is a big one for me, because obviously I decided to keep him instead of, like I said before, Salah. So Salah's obviously a big thing to not go for. So to that, I've got Son, Fernandes, and Diaz. Son, obviously a lot of people going for him, but Fernandes and Diaz, not many people really looking at them, and they're going for Son and a cheaper option, and maybe I should have done that as well, but I'm hoping Fernandes performs here against Sheffield United. It is away. Maybe the pressure's off being away from Man United, and that's what I've got to hope for. I went for him instead of obviously Rashford because he's on penalties as well, so let's hope they get a couple of penalties and he bags them both. Big week there for Fernandes. Then Diaz, a massive week for him. Now, I'm recording this where Colombia haven't played their game yet. They play their game's the latest game, and obviously their earliest kickoff, Liverpool are. So how much time he's going to have rest is going to be interesting. Will he play? Obviously, I don't know. That's the worry I've got now for obviously Liverpool. He might just bring him on in the second half, and I don't want that. I need him to start, because obviously I've gone for the gamble and going for Luis Diaz instead of Mo Salah. Everton at home's a nice fixture. I'm just praying to God he starts and gets 2 goals. I need goals from him. Overall, the fixtures look good, but confidence-wise with Diaz, I'm not confident. The other 3, I'm just praying it works out. And finally then, onto my strikers, and it is the same front 3 that I had last week, so God, let's hope for a much better return than I got last week. So obviously, keeping Erling Haaland again this week. 2 games that I used blanked. Let's hope it doesn't make it 3. I'm hoping that he gets a hat-trick or something. Brighton is a tough fixture for him, but they do have a few injuries, Brighton, so let's hope Man City can capitalise, but they do, unfortunately, also have a few problems themselves, but yeah, it's a big game. Let's see how it goes. They are at home, Man City, so they have that to advantage, but yeah, if he does blank, I think he's going to go down in value in the next couple of weeks. I think people are going to get rid of him. Ollie Watkins, I mean, he's got the toughest fixture out of everybody in my team, so I'm not actually expecting anything from him, if I'm being honest. I'm hoping it's like a 2-2 kind of game, so he's got a chance of scoring, getting a few assists maybe. But I'm not expecting anything from him, if I'm being honest, because it is a tough fixture, West Ham. And then finally, I've got obviously Solanke. Big game for Solanke. I could have had a 4.5 million guy in my team, in like Archer or something. I saw Solanke's fixtures, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it. Instead of putting more money in my midfield, I'm going to go for Solanke and hope that he scores a load of goals in the next few weeks. First game against Everton, he's blanked. Big week now against Wolves. It is at home, so I'm hoping to God that he gets me a goal. But yeah, it's a big game week for him. But overall, I think my team's got potential to do well. On paper, it looks good. But yeah, anything could happen. I'm a bit unsure, obviously, because of what happened in game week 8. But on paper, it looks good. But the likes of Watkins, not expecting much. Haaland's big game week. Solanke's big game week. So, oh my God, the list could go on here. I'm talking myself out of having a good game week here. So yeah, let me know what you think of this team, people. Let me know what you think I should change, if I should change. Let me know what your teams are. And let me know, yeah, just let me know what you think, because I'm all over the place right now. Please don't forget to like though and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video.